Welcome back, my Schnubble Cakes. How you doing today? It's Chris here, and we're playing level 12 on Extreme Mode. So watch this quick reaction time over here. We're going to pick Paragon up. We're going to drop him over here on the left. We're going to send him to get a command point. We're going to drop our drop turret on the top right there to get a command point as well. And then we're going to change our guys into Guardians really quick over here as we drop Paragon down. So to use our ability really quick while we try and defend for as long as possible. Now, and we're going to build a lot of mixtures of units, mostly shell storms over here for now, and also obviously get our defense going. So, extreme mode. This is playing on impossible mode with no items, no bonuses, no upgrades of any sort, and it's a difficult mode, but you know, it was well worth it when we finally were able to take these levels down. And this is not a guide, by the way. This is us really pushing the game to its limits, seeing how far we can actually push the game, and seeing if we can actually win doing these ridiculous things. So, Paragon's going to have to get picked up and dropped over in the corner over here. We're going to drop some extra guys down here in the back. We're going to get some Shell Storm action over here. I'm going to get a lot of Shell Storms, by the way, and on top of that, we're actually going to get rid of a lot of other units that are not exactly what we need when we need them. I even let my Guardians die, by the way. I didn't feel like they were going to be all that important for us, so I said screw you, and got a bunch of Shell Storms instead. Now, this was the only time in the frickin' game where I'm actually telling you guys, get frickin' Shell Storms up in here if you're trying to pull off this ridiculous stuff up in here. Shell Storms have range, they have group damage, and they're really good. Here's the main thing, guys. They're really frickin' good against the flying fortresses of doom that come later on in the game. They're the only things that can actually take those things down. Now, on my impossible walkthrough, I used the snipers, and they were strong enough to take those guys down, but on this walkthrough, it's not going to be quite so easy. So, that's why we're using full-on Shell Storms. Another thing is, if you haven't noticed, I'm actually going full-on missile launchers in the bottom there. So check this out. Look at those missiles, man. They're doing mega damage. Let's see what else we're going to get over here. We got some pretty good damage up in here. Pretty good damage overall. Paragon's going to pop up here in just a second. Hopefully we can keep our missile turret alive. It looks like we shall keep it alive. A lot of people coming in here, but we don't lose any units just yet. So I'm honestly pretty happy. We're only about a quarter of the way done through the entire level, though. You've got to do 5 full minutes, and then there's like a 20-second break in between, and then there's another 5 minutes. Honestly, I'd say the most difficult part of this map is actually defending for the last 2 minutes of this section, and then the beginning 2 minutes of the next section. If you can defend those, you're going to win the game. Another thing that I do, which is kind of ridiculous, is I actually do a lot of weird selling and buying up in here. It didn't work out perfectly in every single situation, but I think I could do a little bit better in the future, but it's definitely not horrible. So I'm actually going to try and let this guy come a little bit closer. Oh, crap, we insta-killed the wrong thing. So we let him get a little bit closer. We're going to buy the laser turret, and then on top of that, guess what we're going to do, guys? Insta-kill! Boom! As we explode that guy over here. This laser turret, we can do the exact same thing as well if we want. We do want to make sure our Shell Storms are actually going to survive up in here. So, because they're 90 Ethereum. That's actually a pretty big chunk. So with everybody kind of working together right here, we are able to take down some of these robot monsters. They do have shields, though, so you have to be careful. You can't even damage them until the shield's gone. So use our heal really quick. I'm actually going to drop Paragon back a little bit, and we're going to spend all of our elixir as efficiently as we possibly can. No, I'm not perfect. Yes, I do let it to get 300 sometimes, but I feel like I do an overall pretty solid job against these guys. There is a few more of these guys coming down at the bottom, and one more coming over here. I'm hoping that I can just insta-kill it really quick, but if not, I'm just going to get rid of my laser and just rebuy him. Now, because I don't have any upgrades, normally if you sell one of your turrets, you get some extra Ethereum back, but there's really no point to selling it at this point. It's just like, will you get lucky enough to actually have it get used? If not, you'll just have to rebuy it. But of course, I'm trying to max out my Ethereum production and make sure I spend every single ounce that I can and not waste any of it. It really is that important. Alright, so we're actually going to build a couple extra missile launcher upgrades up in there, because if anything's going to leak through, it's going to be those really, really fast flying cubicles of death. Flying fortresses of doom. I don't know what else to call them, man. They are deadly. So as I was saying, the last 2 minutes of this is definitely the hardest, because you have these really, really tanky guys coming in here. And then the first 2 minutes of the next area is definitely really difficult, especially if you don't kill these guys in time, because they can just chill there forever, you know? They'll just be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm just going to lob some grenades at you for the next 15 minutes. Ploppity, ploppity, plop, plop. And things can go really, really south really, really fast. But we do defend the first 5 minutes. We still have our front base. If you lose your front base, give up. You're done, man. You just gotta give up. So if you notice, I'm actually, all my shell storms are spaced out. I do this for a reason, by the way. I want them to be spaced out, so if any of these shockers come in here, they don't hurt multiple shell storms, they're only hurting one at a time, and I can just cycle through and put the ones that are getting hurt the most in the back, and put the ones that are not getting hurt in the front. Anyways, we're going to try and keep Paragon alive as much as possible. I'd like to watch his health. You know, it's nice to have it on the main screen here, so you can watch his health no matter where you're looking on the screen. But I'm not perfect, so sometimes I do have to get him picked up and dropped over into a certain area. And even then, sometimes they'll randomly throw a grenade or something stupid at me and take me down. So, if we can survive this for now, you can tell we're trying to keep our shell storms alive. They do end up taking down one of our laser turrets, but instead of buying another laser turret, I actually want to buy a machine gun turret instead because they're tankier. Paragon's going to walk in here, try and take this guy down. It looks like we will hopefully take him down over here. Paragon's getting hurt pretty bad, man. Use that ability if you need to. Chris, can you do it? Use the ability! And we heal as well. Absolutely wonderful. But now we got to spend some more money, so I really don't have a bunch of money kind of flowing all over the place, guys. So we're actually going to have to switch into a mixture of different units at this point. You know, we've got a lot of guys trying to insta-kill us, and they can just 90 Ethereum down the drain, insta-kill a shell storm. So, you gotta send some Guardians over there. But, of course, it doesn't work out perfectly every single time. Our Guardians are dead in the bottom already. They're starting to kill some of my guys over there. And they're taking over this base. I just have to say, suck my balls, that base is taken. I gotta defend this base in the top right. This is the important base to defend. So all of my units are gonna be over here. Now we're actually gonna have to start switching into a lot of sniper action, because that's all we have money for at this point. Build some snipers. Okay, so they did take that base down. We still got a pretty solid defense over here. I'm going to get some regular insta-kills and everything. Just spend all my elixir the entire time. And also got a set of snipers over here, so not too shabby, man. Not too shabby. Alright, so Paragon is almost dead. I'm going to have to drop him back over here. And as you can tell, 3 minutes left. If you've got this base left at 3 minutes, it's not a game over automatic win, but it's looking pretty darn good for you. Especially if you still have a lot of Ethereum kind of coming in. So we finally got guys coming in to try and take me down, and we're going to have to say, screw you, we're going to have to kind of get rid of our, oh no, Paragon died. No! The worst thing that could happen has happened. We're going to start buying some snipers instead. So let's see if we can keep our guys alive. Looks like we are doing a pretty decent job of it overall. And we can start getting rid of any of those extra units that are kind of chilling over there. Just say, get rid of them, build some snipers instead. 2 minutes left, guys. That's all we gotta do is defend for 2 more minutes. And all these guys are gonna be snipers. Paragon's almost back. I'm gonna use my drop turrets as well. You can tell the snipers do some damage, but I can't afford the shell storms. I prefer shell storms, but I can't afford them. So instead, what I have to do is just chill with the snipers and hope that we can take those guys down. Abilities are pretty important on them. It is weird to think about it, but using even your left-sided ability on the flying guys actually works out pretty darn well, and then you just chop them into a couple pieces really quick. So even with like 12, 15, what is that, 21 snipers, kind of chug it into these guys, we're still having trouble killing them. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But the best way to kill them, honestly, use Paragon's ability and watch these chops. Look how much damage they actually do. It's hard to tell because their health bars are actually on top of each other, but it actually does damage if you use your ability, which is kind of weird to see. I could switch to some, you know, engineers or something like that if I wanted to, but I'd rather just keep them all snipers at this point because I'm not even getting overwhelmed all that much. You know, like they are kind of causing some issues, I guess, but I wouldn't call it an overwhelm. So 1 minute left to go, guys. Can we defend? They've finally taken over this base, but they're being stupid, and they're actually not opening up the bridge to get over here just yet. So for some reason, it does take a little while for them to do things sometimes. Sometimes it's just a stroke of luck. The stupid AI is just not doing what they should be doing. Or sometimes you just kill the right guys at the right time, and they don't really know how to get over there. So it looks like what's really happening here is my laser turrets are actually keeping them from getting to the computer to take over the terminal at this point. 20 seconds left to go, guys, and we will end up winning this game. Now, they're finally starting to come over from this area as well. They're trying to snipe me. It looks like I can't even reach them. They have a longer range than my snipers. I feel like it's pretty unfair. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest with each other. I'm supposed to have the best gear. I'm a freaking Iron Marine. You're telling me these other enemy aliens have better gear than me? How unfair is that? Anyways, I actually got to this point where it went up like that. I still lost the game, and it was really upsetting. But if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you press that like button for me. I'd appreciate that a bunch, and have a super duper delicious day.